The hum of the spacecraft is soft and steady, like the world's deepest lullaby. Somewhere far behind me, Earth has already become a pale blue dot, the kind that glimmers faintly when the sunlight catches it just right now. Only Mars fills the window red, silent and vast. I've been awake for hours, though it's hard to tell what hours even mean anymore. The clock inside the cabin keeps running on ship time, but space doesn't care for hours. It only cares for distance and quiet. I float toward the wide observation window, my movements slow and deliberate. In zero gravity, every gesture feels like part of a dream. The straps of my sleeping harness dangle behind me, and I can see the faint reflection of my face in the glass eyes, half tired, half-awed. Below me stretches the surface of Mars, a planet that once was myth, then science, and now somehow feels like home. The sky outside is not black like in the deep void. It's tinted with faint dust, a reddish haze that glows softly in the sunlight. I can see the curve of the horizon. It feels strange to realize that this is another world, a place where no birds ever flew, no rivers ever sang, only wind and rock and the endless whisper of dust storms. As I hover there, I realize that the hum of the ship has synced with my heartbeat, a slow, rhythmic pulse that feels almost hypnotic. I think about why I came here to see Mars from above too, drift over her valleys and volcanoes, to let the mind wander until sleep gently folds it away. Outside the window, a storm moves over the planet's surface. From up here, it looks almost beautiful, like clouds made of cinnamon and gold, swirling slowly across endless desert plains. The sunlight catches the dust, turning it into a ribbon of light that stretches toward the horizon. The ship glides forward on silent thrusters. No vibration, no sound of engines, only the quiet hum of life support systems, the faint creak of metal cooling after the sun dips behind the planet. In moments like this, I feel suspended in time. No up, no down, no before, no after, just floating between sleep and waking, between here and somewhere far away. I press my hand against the glass. The cold seeps through, but gently. It feels real, grounding. The curve of the planet beneath looks impossibly close, yet untouchable. I can almost imagine what it would feel like to walk there, to step into the thin Martian air, to leave slow footprints in the red dust that would stay for centuries. A voice in my headset murmurs softly, "Mission Control," somewhere back on the orbital relay, but their words fade into static, then silence. The delay between planets is long, and in that lag, solitude feels like a living thing. I drift back from the window, letting my body float freely. The interior lights dim to amber. The ship knows it's time to rest. Somewhere inside, a sensor tracks my breathing. A soft chime signals the beginning of sleep mode. I pull the sleeping strap over my shoulder and secure myself against the cushioned wall. The motion feels slow, graceful, like tucking myself into the night sky. I close my eyes. For a while, I imagine flying lower, down past the thin veil of atmosphere, through pink clouds of frozen carbon dioxide, toward the valleys below. I picture Valles Marineris, the Great Canyon stretching for thousands of kilometers. I imagine gliding through it, not in a ship, but with wings of light, catching every updraft, moving effortlessly between the towering cliffs. It feels like a memory that doesn't belong to me. Somewhere in that canyon, I see flashes of an old dream, buildings made of glass, soft lights shining through domes, the hum of a settlement sleeping beneath the dust. Maybe it's the future. Maybe it's just my mind drifting. The hum of the ship fades into something softer, like wind, the kind that you can almost hear between heartbeats. Outside, the harvest sun of Marspel and Far casts a faint glow through the window. It paints the cabin in amber and gold. My eyelids grow heavy. The thought crosses my mind that every person who ever looked at the stars was already traveling here in some way. We were all destined to drift beyond the familiar, to seek quiet in the impossible. Now I am here, alone, above Mars, floating, dreaming, listening. The ship rocks gently, like a cradle in the cosmic wind. My thoughts begin to dissolve, one by one, until only the red horizon remains. The hum continues, and then I let go. Part 2. Drifting through the canyons of Mars. When I open my eyes, it takes me a moment to realize that I'm still inside the ship. But something feels different. The colors have shifted. The air has that strange stillness that only dreams carry. Outside the window, Mars stretches endlessly beneath me. Only now, the ship isn't moving. There's no metal hull around me anymore. No hum of systems or blinking monitors. Just the open expanse of red sky and the slow drift of dust particles that shimmer like stardust. I'm floating, weightless, yet somehow grounded in the pull of this world. Below me yawns the vast trench of Valles Marineris, a canyon so wide it could swallow continents. The sun hangs low on the horizon, a distant pale fire that casts the whole landscape in copper light. Shadows stretch for miles, carving deep rivers of darkness between mountains of rust-colored stone. I begin to descend, not falling, just gliding effortlessly. Slowly that the thin Martian air moves against me like silk. There's no sound, only vibration, the subtle hum of wind brushing ancient rock. I glide past ridges where shadows hide frozen water crystals, glinting like glass when the light catches them. It feels endless, and yet peaceful. I sense movement below. Tiny swirls of dust, small cyclones spiraling across the plain. They rise and twist like dancers, tracing invisible patterns over the sand. I follow them. Each twist and turn seems to respond to my breath. My heart beat as though the planet itself is alive and aware of my presence. The canyon narrows ahead. The walls rise higher, glowing faintly in the dying light. Striations of color run along the stone, red, orange, brown, gold, a history written in layers of silence. It's strange to think that this place has existed for billions of years. Every grain of dust, every curve of the valley, shaped by time and wind. Yet here I am, drifting through it. A single thought in an ocean of eternity. As I move deeper into the canyon, the air grows cooler. The sunlight fades, replaced by a soft, silvery glow. At first, I think it's reflection from the ship's lights. But no, there is no ship here. The glow comes from the walls themselves. Crystals embedded in the stone shimmer faintly, catching stray photons like tiny mirrors. They light my way as I glide deeper. Deeper still, the silence becomes thicker like a blanket, wrapping around every thought. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I realize that I'm no longer breathing. I don't need to. Whatever this place is, it's beyond air and gravity, beyond anything Earth ever taught me. I drift lower until my feet touch the canyon floor. The ground feels soft, like powder. The dust gives way beneath my steps, but never clings to me. I kneel down and brush my fingers over the surface. The texture is smooth, almost like ash dot. It feels ancient as I stand again. I notice faint lights flickering ahead at first. I think it's just reflection sunlight catching the crystal veins, but as I walk closer, the glow becomes rhythmic, pulsing softly like the heartbeat of the planet. I follow it. Each pulse seems to call me forward, around a bend in the canyon. I find something unexpected, a cavern entrance, low and wide, outlined in pale luminescence. I hesitate for a moment, then step through. Inside, the walls narrow and curve upward into a dome. The light grows stronger. When I reach the center, I stop. Before me stands a cluster of tall, crystalline formations, transparent, glowing from within. They hum faintly, resonating in harmony, like a soft choir of glass. I stand there, listening. The hum deepens. The pitch rises, then falls, almost like breathing, and then I hear something more. A faint voice, distant, layered, speaking in tones I can't quite understand. The sound doesn't come through my ears, but through my chest. My bones. It's as if the planet itself is speaking, not in words, but in emotion, warmth, stillness, recognition. I close my eyes and let the vibrations pass through me. It feels like the whisper of wind over ancient dunes, the soft press of time itself moving through stone. The hum continues. It becomes a rhythm, slow, steady, soothing dot, and then I realize it's matching my heartbeat again. I can't tell where my body ends and the sound begins. In that moment, I feel weightless, not because I'm floating, but because every burden, every memory, every thought of home has dissolved. Only now, in this red world, do I feel completely still. I don't know how long I stand there. Minutes, hours, time folds easily in dreams. When I finally open my eyes, the crystals pulse one last time, then fade to a faint shimmer. The cave is quiet again. I take one slow breath, and when I exhale, the air seems to lift me upward. The canyon opens beneath me as I rise through light, through dust, through the red glow of dawn beginning to break across Mars. From above, the planet looks calm again. The wind trails are faint ribbons of gold and pink, drifting lazily across endless plains. I drift higher, until the curve of the horizon returns, until the sky turns black again, scattered with stars. Somewhere far above, the faint outline of my ship appears, a small glint of silver against infinity. I move toward it, slow and serene, as though drawn by memory, and as I near the window, the hum returns, the soft, mechanical rhythm of the engines. The boundary between dream and waking blurs for a moment. I blink, the canyon fades, the stars return, the ship surrounds me once more. I'm lying back in my harness, weightless and still, my eyes open just enough to see the planet turning quietly below. The hum matches my pulse again. The air smells faintly metallic, clean. A voice over the intercom whispers something about course correction and night cycle. I don't answer. I just close my eyes and let the rhythm carry me back towards sleep. Because here, above Mars, the universe feels soft, and all I want is to drift a little longer between dream and dust, between silence and stars, between being awake and completely at peace. Part 3. The frozen lights of Mars. When I open my eyes again, the light has changed. It's dimmer, softer, tinted in pale blue. For a moment, I think I'm back on Earth, lying beneath the faint glow of morning, but then I see it. Mars still turns beneath me. Only now, it isn't red. The ship has drifted toward the poles, where frost and ice gleam like a sea of diamonds. The desert has become a frozen ocean, each ridge and valley outlined in shades of silver and faint azure. The planet below looks calm, silent, almost sacred. Outside the observation window, the horizon glows faintly with reflected sunlight. Wisps of vapor swirl in thin spirals, carried by the slow movement of air. The ice glints, fractured into 1,000 prisms, scattering light across the emptiness. I let my body drift closer to the window again. My fingers graze the cold glass, and for a brief moment, I imagine I can feel the chill of that alien frost. Beneath my skin, the hum of the ship is steady, soft, the kind of sound that's more felt than heard. It vibrates gently through my bones, matching the steady rhythm of the ship's life support and my own breathing. It feels timeless. I close my eyes again, and when I open them, the ship is gone. I'm standing floating just above the frozen plains of Mars. The ice stretches endlessly, a mirror reflecting the faint orange light of a sun far smaller than I remember. Each breath I take feels weightless, without effort. There's no air here, but somehow I exist all the same. Below the surface, I see faint lights flickering, blue, green, gold. They shift and swirl, like schools of fish beneath a frozen lake. Curious, I drift lower. The ice is translucent, and through it, I can see structures, lines, and curves, too perfect to be natural. Shapes that twist gently, glowing from within. It looks like a city, or the memory of one. The thought makes me still. For years, scientists speculated about life on Mars, bacteria, ancient rivers, frozen lakes, but no one imagined this. A hidden place beneath the ice, glowing softly like a dream preserved for eternity. I hover closer. The lights pulse faintly in response, as if aware of my presence. The sound returns, the ship's hum, but something deeper, more resonant. A low vibration that feels alive, echoing up through the ice. It fills the air around me, then my chest, my mind. I let it wash over me. The glow intensifies, painting the ice in rippling waves of color: teal, rose, violet, and silver. Each hue seems to carry emotion, peace, memory, wonder. I drift downward until I'm nearly touching the ice. My hand reaches out instinctively, though I know it's impossible. And yet when my fingertips touch the surface, it gives way, not like breaking through, but like stepping into warm water. I sink slowly, weightlessly, through the ice, and the world above fades into white. Beneath, the glow surrounds me completely. It isn't a city, not in the way I first thought. It's something more organic, more fluid. Vast crystalline formations rise from the ground, forming arches and towers of translucent stone. They hum faintly with light, shifting gently, as though breathing. The structures don't feel built, they feel grown. I drift between them, each one radiating calm. The ground is covered in a layer of smooth frost that shimmers like glass. Tiny motes of light hover in the air, floating upward like glowing dust. It's beautiful beyond words. As I move deeper, the light becomes warmer, more golden. The formations thin out, opening into a wide, circular chamber. At the center of it stands a massive column of ice, its surface etched with faint patterned spirals and lines that pulse slowly, like veins. I float closer. When I place my hand against the column, the hum deepens, and in that instant, I see images, not through my eyes, but through something else, like memories being shared directly into my thoughts. I see a world that was once alive, rivers flowing under an orange sky, green valleys filled with water and light, structures tall, crystalline rising from the ground, reflecting the sun. Beings of light moving through them, not walking, but gliding. Their shapes are soft, fluid, almost like energy given form. They move together, humming in harmony, and then darkness. A long winter, storms of dust and silence covering the world, the rivers freezing, the valleys emptying, the light fading until only this remained, frozen memories beneath the poles, kept alive by faint whispers of energy echoing through time. When the vision fades, I'm left standing in silence again. My hand still rests against the cold column, but the warmth I felt is gone. The lights dim slightly, as if tired. A part of me wants to stay here to listen longer, to see what else these ancient echoes might say. But I can feel the pull of the surface again. The dream begins to lift me, slowly, gently. The chamber fades behind me. The glowing shapes dissolve into color, then into white light. I rise through the ice once more. When I break through the surface, the sky above me is full of stars. The red hue of Mars has softened into a twilight of blue and silver. The horizon stretches endlessly, and for a moment, it feels like the whole planet is asleep beneath a blanket of frost. I drift higher, until the ground becomes a smooth curve again, until the thin line of atmosphere glows like fire around the edges. Far above, I can see my ship again, waiting, quiet. It feels familiar, now almost like home. I drift toward it, slow and weightless. When I reach the airlock and step inside, everything feels different. The hum of the ship seems softer, almost like it's breathing with me. I float to the window once more and look down. The polar lights shimmer faintly below. A final wave goodbye from the frozen plains. I whisper to them softly, though no one can hear. Sleep well. The lights flicker once more, then fade into the dawn. I secure my harness again. The straps feel snug, comforting. My eyelids grow heavy, and as I drift into sleep, I imagine the ancient hum of Mars continuing below, faint but eternal like a lullaby written in ice. Part 4. The celestial storm. When I open my eyes again, I know something has changed. The hum of the ship feels restless, like a heartbeat that's suddenly quickened. For a moment, I stay still, floating inside the dimly lit cabin, watching dust motes drift through the air. Then I see a faint flicker outside the observation window. At first, I think it's just sunlight reflecting off the ship's hull, but the flicker grows brighter. A pulse of electric blue rolls across the Martian horizon. Then another. It looks like lightning, but lightning isn't supposed to exist. Here, not like this. I push myself toward the window, slow and weightless, until my hands meet the cold glass. Outside, the surface of Mars glows under shifting colors, blue, violet, and faint green. A storm moves across the upper atmosphere, unlike anything I've ever seen. It isn't chaotic. It's almost rhythmic. The bolts of light don't strike randomly. They form arcs, spirals, almost patterns, like something trying to speak through color instead of sound. The thin clouds swirl like liquid glass, catching flashes of light that move in slow waves. The planet below seems to pulse in response, the same way the crystals beneath the ice once did. For a moment, I wonder if it's connected. This storm isn't weather at all, but memory. Mars remembering itself. I unclip my harness and drift closer, pressing my forehead to the window. The light plays across my face in soft blue streaks. It feels alive. The ship's sensors beep faintly in the background, warning of atmospheric interference, but I barely hear them. My heartbeat matches the rhythm of the flashes outside. Then, a low vibration ripples through the hull, deep and smooth, not threatening, but powerful enough to feel in my chest. The storm intensifies. Bolts of light stretch like ribbons across the sky, weaving together, forming shapes that almost resemble wings. They spread wide, then fade, then return again in brighter shades of violet and gold. For a moment, the whole planet seems to glow from within. The dust storms below catch the light, scattering it across mountains and plains until Mars looks like a living ember. I can't look away as I watch. Something strange happens the longer I stare. The less I feel the boundary between me and the world outside. The window isn't a barrier anymore. The hum of the ship becomes part of the wind. The lights flicker again, closer this time, and the sound inside my ears changes a deep resonance that seems to carry through my body like a heartbeat in slow motion. Then I realize this isn't sound. It's thought, not words, not voice, just awareness, something vast, gentle, watching. I close my eyes, and the colors continue behind my eyelids. Swirls of blue and red mixing into violet, spinning softly like galaxies seen from afar. The hum deepens. I can feel the same presence that I felt beneath the ice. Ancient, curious. It's not speaking, not in the way we do. It's showing. Images bloom in my mind like ripples. Storms that shaped valleys. Winds that sculpted dunes. Sunlight spreading across plains untouched for eons. I see the planet alive, again oceans glimmering, clouds drifting, flashes of lightning illuminating fields of red grass. And for one perfect heartbeat, I can almost hear laughter, soft, distant, and echoing like the sound of rain after a long silence. Then everything slows. The storm begins to fade, dissolving into thin tendrils of light. The blue arcs soften into faint gold before vanishing completely. The hum retreats back into the ship. When I open my eyes, the world outside has changed again. The red of Mars has returned, quiet and still. The horizon glows with dawn, sunlight stretching across the plains in thin amber lines. The sky looks clear, but I can still feel something lingering in the air, an aftertaste of connection, like static just before a storm breaks. I exhale slowly, realizing how long I'd been holding my breath. The ship is silent again. The warning lights fade. The engines resume their soft hum, and yet, the silence feels heavier now, like the pause after a song you didn't know you were part of. I float back to my harness and secure myself. The straps slide over my shoulders with a faint whisper. My heart rate slows, matching the rhythm of the ship. Outside, the last traces of the storm shimmer faintly on the horizon. I whisper, "Thank you," without knowing who or what I'm speaking to. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe gratitude doesn't need direction, just needs release. For a long time, I watched the sun climb higher, its light spreading slowly across the planet. The shadows shrink. The mountains glow. Everything feels both ancient and new. Somewhere, deep beneath the frozen surface, the crystals might still hum softly, echoing the same rhythm as the storm. Mars sleeps again, its surface calm, its memories tucked beneath the ice. I drift, feeling the pull of sleep return. My eyelids grow heavier. My breathing slows, and as I close my eyes, the storm's faint pulse continues behind. The magenta flicker steady as a heartbeat, soft as a lullaby. The last thought before I drift away is simple. That maybe, in the vast quiet of space, we don't just find emptiness. We find echoes, and if we're lucky enough to listen, they sound a lot like dreams. Part 5. Moons of silence when I wake. The cabin is bathed in faint blue light. The ship's systems are calm again, their hum steady and low, like a steady breath beneath the silence. For a moment, I don't move. I simply float there, half awake, half suspended in a warm stillness that feels both infinite and fragile. Outside the window, Mars is dark now. Night has fallen across the planet's face. Its surface is faintly lit by starlight shades of rust and grey blending into shadow. The storm is gone. The sky is clear, almost too clear. And then I see it. A soft glow on the horizon. Not from the sun, but from one of Mars' moons. Phobos. It hangs low in the sky, close enough to seem unreal. Its shape uneven, its surface pocked with craters and deep shadows. It drifts quickly, faster than any moon I've ever seen, like a restless thought circling a dream. Behind it, far away and slower, Deimos follows a smaller, gentler light. Together, they move in silence, crossing the black sky above the red planet like two fireflies caught in slow motion. I press my palm against the glass. The cold feels grounding again. It's strange how quiet space is. Not empty, just quiet. A kind of silence that listens back. For a while, I just watch the moons drift by. They move like clock hands, patient and certain. Somewhere far below, their faint light must be sliding across dunes and mountains, glinting off frost and stone. The hum of the ship seems softer than ever now. Every sound feels deliberate tiny bursts of air, the whisper of filters, the faint creak of metal adjusting to cold. It's all part of the rhythm of being alive in a place where nothing else breathes. My mind drifts again. Slow and easy. I think about how small everything really is. The ship, the moons, even Mars itself, floating like a bead of rust in the endless ocean of black. And then I think about home, how, somewhere, millions of miles away, people are sleeping under their own skies. Maybe looking up, maybe not. The thought isn't lonely, it's comforting, because even here, in all this emptiness, I can feel connection. Like an invisible thread stretching across space. Fragile, yes, but unbroken. Phobos passes closer now, its shadow sweeping faintly across the planet's curve. The way it moves feels purposeful, like a guardian circling a slumbering world. I wonder if the ancient dreamers who once imagined this place saw it like I do now, not as barren, but as patient, waiting for company. I unclip the harness and drift closer to the window again. The glass reflects my face, faintly soft light across tired eyes, hair floating gently in the air. I look smaller here, lighter, like gravity has finally forgiven me. The stars outside shimmer faintly, each one a sun, each one a place I'll never see. And yet, somehow, I feel as if I've been to all of them already. Its shining point, a reflection of some forgotten dream. A small vibration hums through the ship navigation, adjusting course. The faintest shift, it reminds me of a sigh. Through the window, Deimos rises higher now. Its pale glow brushes the ship's hull in silver. I can almost imagine it as a lantern guiding the way through the endless dark. And somewhere between the hum of the engines and the slow passing of light, my thoughts begin to blur again. I imagine stepping outside, floating beyond the ship, drifting freely between the moons. The air non-existent, yet somehow kind, pressing softly against my skin. The silence wrapping around me like a blanket dot. I drift closer to Phobos, its shadow growing beneath me. Its surface is rough, uneven, ancient. Craters overlap like fingerprints of time. I glide lower until the ground seems to shimmer faintly in the silence. I feel presence again, not like before, not a voice, but awareness. It feels like the planet's memory echoing here too through its moons. I close my eyes, and the darkness behind them fills with color-faint reds, golds, soft streaks of blue that move like whispers. A thought forms in my mind, not from me, but from the quiet itself. You are part of the silence now. The words, or maybe just the feelings, settle into me. I don't resist it. I just breathe, because it feels true. The quiet isn't empty. It's full of all the moments that came before and all the ones still waiting to unfold. When I open my eyes again, I'm back inside the ship. The glass is still cold beneath my palm. Phobos has passed now, disappearing beyond the horizon, and Deimos is climbing higher, smaller, paler, like a candle in the wind. The hum of the engines softens again. The lights dim to amber. The air grows warmer. I return to my harness and secure it gently. The straps feel familiar now, like the arms of an old friend. I close my eyes once more. The last thing I see is the curve of Mars beneath its two silent moons. Gliding endlessly through the night, I let my breath slow, and as the ship continues its steady path through the Martian sky, I sink deeper past the noise of thought, past the edges of waking into the calm. Infinite space between stars. Part 6. Drifting beyond Mars, the silence deepens as I drift into the next layer of sleep. It feels different now, lighter, slower, as though gravity itself has given up trying to hold me. Somewhere far away, the ship continues its quiet orbit, the lights dim, the systems humming softly like a lullaby only the stars can hear. I can't tell when the dream begins, or if I ever stopped dreaming in the first place. All I know is that I'm floating, weightless, untethered, and utterly calm. Mars fades below me, shrinking into a glowing sphere of deep red and bronze. The moons Phobos and Deimos circle it like faithful companions, but soon even they fall behind, growing smaller, dimmer, until they disappear into the darkness. I am alone now, surrounded by stars. They stretch in every direction, infinite and serene. Each one seems to pulse with its own rhythm, a faint heartbeat echoing through the void. The space around me is silent, but it's not empty. It's alive, with energy so subtle it feels like breathing. I can almost hear it, a slow, steady inhale and exhale that doesn't come from lungs, but from the universe itself. It feels peaceful. As I drift further from Mars, I start to notice faint streams of color flowing through the dark. Thin ribbons of light blue, gold, violet, drifting like the aurora, only slower, grander. They move with purpose, bending around invisible tides. I reach out my hand. The light doesn't pass through me. It bends around me gently, as if I'm part of its path. It's warm, not in temperature, but in feeling. It reminds me of something ancient, like sunlight filtered through the leaves of a childhood forest. It occurs to me that maybe this is what space really looks like when you're not bound by eyes or instruments, when you see it with your mind instead of your body. The ship's shape appears below me now, far smaller than before. It floats quietly, its lights blinking like fireflies in an endless field. It feels strange, seeing it from the outside, as if I've left my body behind but still know it's safe. My breathing slows even more. I can feel my pulse syncing with something larger, an unseen rhythm that fills the space between stars. Time no longer feels linear. It's like being inside a song with no beginning or end. For a while, I just drift, letting the current of light carry me through the darkness. Then, ahead of me, something changes. A faint glow appears on the horizon, not from a sun, but from a cluster of swirling dust and gas. It's a nebula, vast and luminous, blooming in shades of violet and rose. The edges shimmer like silk. As I move closer, the colors deepen, wrapping around me in slow waves. They shimmer and pulse with quiet energy. Each ripple feels like a heartbeat, each color like a thought. I realize, suddenly, that I'm not drifting by chance. The light is pulling me somewhere, guiding me. The closer I get, the more I can sense something within the nebulous, something vast, quiet, and aware. It doesn't speak, not in words, but through sensation, warmth, curiosity, calm. It feels like being seen, not with eyes, but with understanding. The thought passes through my mind. I am not lost. The response comes not as a voice, but as a vibration, soft and steady. You never were. I float there, wrapped in light, as time slows to a whisper. The nebula hums with energy, its colors weaving around me in spirals. It feels like being inside a dream made of starlight. I think about all the explorers who came before me, all the people who looked up at the night sky and wondered what was out there. Maybe this is what they felt in their hearts, not fear of the unknown, but longing for connection. For a moment, I close my eyes and let the colors fade into sound. There's a rhythm pulse that rises and falls like the tide. It feels like music, though I can't quite hear it. It's something I sense more than perceive. When I open my eyes again, I see faint shapes forming in the light, delicate structures like feathers or the wings of some cosmic creature. They move slowly, gracefully, unfurling through the glow. Each movement sends ripples of light across the void, as though the stars themselves are breathing in response. I realize I'm not afraid, not even a little, because here, in all this silence and color, there's no separation. No above or below, no before or after. Just being, just belonging. The presence speaks again, not with sound, but through warmth spreading gently through my chest. You are part of the pattern now. The words echo through me, soft as sleep. The nebula's light folds around me like a blanket. My vision starts to blur, not from fear or fatigue, but from peace. The kind of peace that feels older than thought. I let go of every question, every noise, every weight that once belonged to gravity or time. For a few moments more, I drift within the glow until everything stars colors. Sound melts into a single soft hum. Then I exhale, slowly, deeply, and the universe exhales with me. The stars dim, their light folding into the distance. The ship, small and familiar, begins to draw me back, as though the current of my own breath is guiding me home. I feel the faint pull of gravity again, gentle as a hand on my shoulder. The nebula fades behind me, its last shimmer fading into the black, and somewhere in the deep silence, I hear one final whisper: rest now. You were never truly far from home. The hum of the engines grows louder as I drift back into the ship's orbit. The systems glow softly. The air feels warmer, thicker, real. I open my eyes. Through the window, Mars is a faint circle again, half in shadow, half in dawn. The stars behind it are steady and still, and in that quiet, I feel something like gratitude, not for reaching the end, but for realizing there never really was one. Only the journey, only the silence, only the gentle rhythm of sleep, pulsing in time with the stars. Part 7, Dawn. Over the red planet. The first light of Mars feels like a whisper against the edge of sleep. It seeps in slowly, the way morning light used to touch the curtains back home, soft, hesitant, unsure if it should wake me. I can feel it before I see it, a faint warmth brushing across my face, a suggestion of color against the darkness behind my eyes. When I open them, the ship is quiet. The engines hum at a steady rhythm, almost like the beat of a heart that has settled into rest. Outside the viewport, the horizon of Mars glows in shades of amber and soft coral, spreading like watercolor across the blackness of space. The planet's surface vast, endless, scarred by canyons and dust, looks almost tender in this light dot. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't shout. It just exists, ancient and unbothered. I take a slow breath. It feels heavier now, grounded, as though the air itself remembers gravity. For the first time in hours, or maybe lifetimes, I feel my body again. My fingers twitch slightly. My chest rises and falls. The dream, or whatever it was, has left something behind, a calm that sits deep inside me. Still as the space between stars, the cabin lights remain dim. They glow with a faint golden hue designed to simulate dawn. But even they seem gentler today. I look around and notice how the reflections shimmer across the control panels, how tiny particles of dust float lazily in the air like suspended thoughts. Everything feels slower, softer, more alive. For a long while, I just sit there, watching the planet rotate beneath me. Rivers of shadows stretch across its surface. Carved by eons of wind, craters catch the sunlight and hold it like bowls of fire. It's impossible not to feel small, but it's a comforting kind of small, the kind that reminds you you're part of something vast and beautiful, not apart from it. I close my eyes again, and the image of the nebula flickers back in my mind. Those ribbons of violet and gold. That sense of being seen, not with eyes, but with understanding. I can almost feel the hum of that presence still, faint but steady, as if it stayed with me on this side of the dream. Maybe it wasn't just a dream. Maybe space itself has a way of listening. I rest my hand on the glass of the viewport. It's cool to the touch. Beyond it, dust storms swirl quietly far below, tracing slow spirals across the red plains. They look like thoughts dissolving into motion, ephemeral, uncatchable, beautiful, and there, in peeper, in the silence, I begin to hear the faintest sound, not mechanical, not artificial, but rhythmic. It's the sound of my own breathing echoing through the cabin, perfectly synchronized with the distant hum of the engines. For a moment, it feels like the entire ship is breathing with me, and maybe it is. After all, everything here, every atom, every photon once belonged to the same beginning. I remember something the captain once said before we left. "Earth, that's the thing about space," she told me, her voice steady over the static. "It doesn't make you feel alone. It makes you remember how connected everything really is." At the time, I thought it was just poetic optimism. Now, floating above Mars with the afterglow of a cosmic dream still humming in my chest, I understand, because connection isn't about distance. It's about awareness. It's about knowing that every breath you take has passed through stars, through trees, through oceans, through countless living things that even here miles above a red world with no air and no sound. You are still part of that exchange. I can almost feel Earth's pull again, not the physical gravity, but the memory of home, the feeling of standing beneath a blue sky, hearing leaves rustle, tasting air filled with warmth and rain. It's distant, but not lost. It's a frequency that never really fades. No matter how far you travel, the computer chimes softly, reminding me that the ship is stabilizing orbit. I let the sound fade into the background. The numbers and coordinates don't matter right now. All that matters is this: the quiet, the view, the moment suspended perfectly between waking and dreaming outside. The edge of the planet glows brighter, the sun rises higher, and the thin Martian atmosphere catches its light, scattering it into delicate shades of rose gold. For a brief second, the whole horizon looks like it's burning, not destructively, but radiantly, like it's alive. I whisper to myself, almost without meaning to, "It's beautiful." The words drift into the cabin and disappear, but somehow, I feel like something or someone heard them. Maybe the universe listens in ways we can't measure. Maybe it always has. The light grows stronger now, washing over the control panels, reflecting in the window like molten glass. I can see my reflection, their small, weightless eyes half-lidded with sleep, but awake enough to feel the warmth of the moment. And for the first time since this journey began, I don't feel like I'm exploring space. I feel like I'm part of it. My eyelids grow heavy again, not from fatigue, but from peace. The hum of the engines, the rhythm of my breathing, the soft rise of light, all of it merges into a single, steady pulse. It feels like the heartbeat of Mars itself, quiet and patient beneath me. I take one last look at the glowing horizon. The colors shimmer and bend through the glass, painting the inside of the cabin with gold. It's the kind of light that feels like forgiveness. I close my eyes, and in that instant between sleep and waking, feel the whisper again. Rest easy, traveler, you are already home. The hum deepens, softer now, slower, until it becomes silence. The light fades behind my eyelids, and I drift, weightless once more, wrapped in the calm of space, in the breath of stars, in the dream of Mars. Part 8. The Long Dream. Home. The quiet deepens again, not into silence, but into something softer, a sound that isn't quite sound at all. It's the hum of the ship, the rhythm of breath, the faint echo of distant wind that doesn't exist here. Everything merges into a single, endless note that feels like the background music of the universe. My eyes remain closed. The light from Mars's dawn filters gently through my eyelids, turning the darkness behind them a warm orange. It feels like being under a blanket, warm and weightless at once. Somewhere far beneath, the planet spins slowly, patiently. Its surface, rough and ancient, holds secrets older than memory. But right now, all I can feel is its stillness. There's a kind of peace that comes from knowing a world can keep turning even without anyone to see it. I imagine myself floating just above its atmosphere, watching the soft swirl of dust rise and fall like a breath. The red tones blend into faint gold where the sunlight touches the peaks of ancient mountains. Every motion is slow, deliberate, sleepy. I let my mind drift, and in that space between thoughts, the dream begins again. It doesn't start with images this time, but with a feeling. A low warmth that starts in my chest and spreads outward like sunlight moving across frozen ground. It feels like something familiar, not memory exactly, but recognition.